Time to buff up your weekend with the Slate X replay featuring some Squig-based shenanigans. He's already put a big old overcasted Night Shroud here to hide his horde of Squigs as he advances on the Empire lines here. Yeah, we've got Gorbad, the Iron Claw, the Acid Burpa, and another Colossal Squig. A couple of Manglers here. Is that a third Colossal Squig? How is that even legal? Anyway, it's definitely not a tournament replay. We've got a Squig herd here as well. And then looks like the Night Shaman, of course, that casted that. We've got Durkit Squigs also hiding on the far side, and Mangy Marauders out there as well for a single wolf-based unit. Yeah, there's a couple of units of Squig herds mixed in here, I think. Yeah, triple Colossal Squig. These units are quite good right now. Opposing them, the Empire player here, you can see advancing some of his Empire Knights. Not really sure what's going on. Doing a little skirmishing with the Mangy Marauders there. There's some more Empire Knights on the far side. Jade Wizard up in the sky to heal the Master Engineer. We've also got a Hellblaster Volley Gun as well. Grundle's Defenders, some Great Swords here, and some Spearmen as well. So a decent mixed force for the Empire. Royal Altar Griffites, definitely a few targets to heal. But of course, advancing with this Night Shroud means that the Hellblaster Volley Gun is not going to generate any value against these units as they roll across this crater here. And not until they get real close are they going to get spotted. You can see the Empire starting to open up with their grenade launchers, guns, everything else. The Steam Tank, though, 3v1 is not in for a good time. You can see the Royal Altar Griffites immediately sweep in to help defend. The Great Sword's also moving up. Yeah, it's quite the escalated fight as all forces roll through. You can see Slade takes a little flank there with the Manglers. They're able to roll on through, get immediately on the Hellblaster Volley Gun. One Colossal Squig also jumps to the back line, getting wrecked pretty well by those handgunners, although they are going to somewhat struggle at short range. Their blocky formation means they'll turn and fire pretty quickly, so that Colossal Squig probably done for. But then we're going to see a huge Itchy Nuisance here thrown down to debuff the melee attack of all these units. And importantly, this Master Engineer on his Steam Tank, launching his grenades, he is fairly well stuck, and he's getting chewed in the butt by multiple Colossal Squigs, at least the Steam Tanks, but if it has one. But anyway, it is definitely going to be pretty painful for him. A little bit of sneaky stabbing. Orcs the best stacked there to go 700 weapon strength and 96 melee attack on that Colossal Squig. Of course, Gorbad using his buffs to pretty good effect there. The rest of the Empire build, they were able to kind of repel the one Colossal Squig. And it looks like Mangy Marauders out there in the distance getting caught by some Empire Knights, but still able to tie up quite a bit of value in that. There are still some anti-large units defending, though. Grundle's Defenders defending the Grundle here, and also the Royal Altar Griffites, of course, contributing some anti-large. These Manglers are probably going to go down. I don't know, have they actually have paid for themselves? In terms of raw damage value, probably not. But in terms of disruption, definitely has been pretty decent overall. But, yeah, you can see the rampaging Acid Burpa. One sad thing about the Steam Tanks, since they're speed nerf, they are much more difficult to extricate, especially from a fast unit that has poison. Or actually just kidding, Colossal Squigs don't have poison. But, there's plenty of poison to go around and speed debuffs on the Greenskins roster. And just generally, I mean, that 82 base speed, of course, is very tough to get away from, considering the Steam Tank's slowness. And with the loss of the Master Engineer, it is pretty quickly going to cascade into a mass terror route here for the Empire. Altar Griffites doing their best to kind of shore things up. And, I mean, they still have a decent amount of power left there, I guess. With the Jade Wizard, maybe they can try and heal through some of this, pick off isolated units, get back in this game. Certainly not completely over, but the triple Colossal Squig, even for the Royal Altar Griffites, it's just so much power concentrated into one area. They are going to struggle to try and get through. Not to mention, charging down these Mangler Squigs, they'll be able to defeat them, but you can see the explosion damage there, nerfed even as it is, still is going to be dangerous, especially in a situation where they really don't have HP to give to the explosion. Beautiful, beautiful game, though, as the Squigs tangle in combat here. Yeah, I can see the Altar Griffites trying to pull out of that engagement, maybe get to a position where they can receive some healing or fight isolated units. The Orcs are the best, being used on not an Orc, but a Squig instead. And that is going to, again, increase the melee attack, weapon strength, help them get through the Altar Griffites. A little bit of AP shooting there from the mangy marauders also contributing nicely. They're going to pretty much pay for themselves, shooting a handful of high-value targets. And yeah, with the Alto fights not getting the healing they need, running out of steam very quickly, that is going to be army losses for the Empire. So relatively quick victory for Slade. Sometimes the games do go that way, but it's definitely a fun one for sure. I mean, triple Colossal Squig is not legal in tournaments, but it is something that you can do. I actually don't know how this is legal on ladder. I think maybe the unit caps are missing. This is from the hotfix, from before the hotfix. I do believe this was actually fixed in the unit caps hotfix, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, yeah, a couple of the Manglers actually, with the explosion damage, do end up paying for themselves, which, you know, they've been nerfed, but they're still quite effective in a number of matchups, and definitely very dangerous. Greenskins, broadly, I would say, probably have some of the best AP mobile tools in the game, next to, like, maybe Slanesh, and just really are very punishing for mobile armored units. You can see Raw Grip Fights are the only ones that are going to come close to paying for themselves. I guess these Empire Knights get reasonably close as well, but yeah, honestly, the handgunners actually return some pretty surprising value. I mean, hindsight being 2020 against the very unusual build. Maybe if you match with Slade on ladder, you might expect it, but definitely just having more like cavalry and guns would have been more beneficial. These infantry units really didn't do a lot. I think that's honestly true of many matchups. I guess Skrundle's defenders did okay with their extra defensive stats. But yeah, definitely Steam Tank can be a little bit risky, especially now with the speed nerfs. It's extra risky in certain matchups. With that armor-piercing anti-large, Greenskins definitely have the tools to kill it pretty effectively. So I think Boris is probably going to be the go-to pick once again in this matchup, as he has been historically often. But anyway, yeah, let's just finish up talking quickly about benefits of the Colossal Squig. And yeah, the speed is really the one thing here that makes these so hard to deal with. That 90 base speed. Did I say 82 before? Anyway, and yeah, for relatively cheap cost, like there's not a lot of monsters that really fall into that speed category. The one that immediately springs to mind for me is the Brood Horror, which granted is cheaper, but yeah, so kind of similar speed. The Brood Horror actually does have poison, less weapon strength, kind of just less all around. Slightly better melee defense, and does also come with regeneration, but has 2,000 less base HP. So the regeneration pretty much is a net neutral, I would say, in that. If not, actually just better to have the HP up front with the Colossal Squig and not have the weakness to fire. Not to mention that the Squigs also have the blow apart. If they do get low, they'll do some damage in that way. But yeah, just having something in this speed range to be able to move around the battlefield, like quickly, especially when it comes to single entity fights, right? Like quickly group up to be able to go 2v1 or support, you know, another single entity, whether that be like your Lord or whatever else, definitely makes taking certain characters less risky. Like Greenskins historically have had their characters often easily get sniped, especially by like powerful charging flying characters. Or different means, but now, at least from the melee perspective, you can definitely have units that can be affecting another part of the battlefield and then very quickly switch to help support your Lord if he does get dived or whatever, wherever else you need them to be. Is definitely a huge benefit. Anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.